Hey, and welcome to another episode of the Aunty Lisa Show. Hooray! What should we do a story about today? Let's start with this pink bag, I think. Who's going to be in it? Kristoffer, Aleksander, Aunty Lisa. Cool, that's lucky. Alright, now let's see about... Let's have another one from the pink bag. T-Rex. Can't go wrong. Can't go wrong with a T-Rex. Owen. Those go together very nicely. Okay. Silver bag. Superman. And Batman. Well, that's jolly lucky because they are kind of what I would call frenemies. Sort of friends, sort of enemies. That's as far as I understand it. Random things in here. A ladder. That is quite random. And places in this teeny tiny little bag. Dinosaur times. Maybe, should we have anything else? I always scupper myself when I do this, but I'm going to do it anyway. Wishing well. Okay. Let's do this. So, one day, Aunty Lisa, Aleksander and Kristoffer all went to visit Owen at Jurassic World. Yes, we did. And it was a beautiful sunny day. The birds were singing, the dinosaurs were roaring, everyone was having a great time. The hot dog guy was there, people were eating hot dogs. Except for Aunty Lisa because she didn't like hot dogs. Not even the veggie hot dogs. They're all disgusting. Aunty Lisa ate pizza instead. Anyway. So they were meeting up with Owen for a special tour of Jurassic World. So Owen said, "Hey you guys, thanks for coming along to Jurassic World today. I'm going to show you all the coolest dinosaurs." And everyone was super excited. And they said, hey, Owen, can we go inside those balls where you're inside a ball and then you move along inside a ball a bit like a hamster? And Owen said, yes, we can. That sounds awesome. So that's what they did. They climbed inside one of these balls. I don't know what they're called. They're big balls and you sit in them and they move. And you can roll around wherever you like. So they went off and they rolled around wherever they liked. And they rolled to the Brontosaurus zone. And they looked at all the lovely Brontosauruses. And they went, whoa, they're so ginormous. And they nearly got stomped on by can't use words anymore, by a Brontosaurus. But they were lucky and they escaped. And then they went to the T-Rex zone. And Owen said, I don't normally do this, but for you guys, if we're inside these special, super strong spheres that roll around, would you like to roll around with me inside the T-Rex enclosure? Now, ordinarily, you'd think this was an extremely bad idea. But they are super strong, these orbs things. Let's call them orbs. And so Aunty Lisa said, well, if you're sure, Owen, and they've all been fed, then, well, okay. I guess we can go in and see the T-Rexes. That would be so amazing to see them really close. And Aleksander and Kristoffer went, hooray! So, they opened one of the gates. And they rolled their special orb through. And then they shut that gate. And then they opened the next gate. And they rolled in to the T-Rex zone. T-Rexes, there were a couple of them, were busy eating a ginormous cow for their dinner. And Aleksander, Kristoffer, Aunty Lisa and Owen rolled over towards them. And they were like, oh my goodness, look at the size of those teeth. The T-Rex were like, nom, 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 nom. But then, as you probably would have guessed, the T-Rex noticed this giant ball with 4 humans inside and was like, whoa, in T-Rex voice, which was, rawr. And then the other T-Rex looked and went, rawr. And they crept over to the ball. And Aunty Lisa went, ah. And Owen went, oh, I didn't anticipate this problem. They were eating. I thought we'd be fine. And Aleksander and Kristoffer went, whee! The T-Rex claimed closer and closer and closer. And its big, ginormous teeth were really, really, really close. And then it just nudged the ball with one of its little tiny feet. Hands. And the ball went, and everyone inside went, ah! And then the other T-Rex nudged it back. And everyone went, ah! And then they did it again. Ah! 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 Well, everyone inside the ball was now regretting this decision, because being spun round over and over and over again, and then back over and over and over again in a fun game of T-Rex football is actually not fun. And everyone started to feel extremely sick. And they were like, no one was worried about getting eaten by a T-Rex at this point. They're more worried about getting sicked on by the person sat next to them. And Owen tried to radio for help. And he was radioing and radioing and radioing. Come in, we're in a ball and the T-Rexes, so we need some help, please. But nobody came. No, because do you know what they were all doing? They were all stood round watching the sea dinosaurs doing tricks. And no one was paying attention to what the T-Rexes were doing in the T-Rex enclosure. And no one was listening to their radios. So Aleksander and Kristoffer said, okay, we need a new plan. We need a new plan. This has gone horribly. Oh, no. Horribly wrong. Okay, what we're going to do. We're going to call Batman. So Aleksander got his phone out. Hello, Batman. And everything was spinning. And the T-Rexes had started deciding it'd be fun to see if they could kick the ball in the air, like doing football tricks and everything. It was horrific. Everyone was ah, ah. And Batman went, hey. And Batman, what's wrong? And everyone went, ah, ah. He went, what's that? You're stuck inside a ball and a T-Rex is kicking you around like a football? I'll be right there. Well, he's blooming clever, is Batman. So he swooped into action in his bat flying thing and went, meow, and he did a circle around the T-Rexes. But the T-Rexes just thought, wow, that's amazing, a new toy. So they stopped kicking around the ball with all the people in, and they started trying to catch Batman. Like this. T-Rexes are not good at catching and jumping, actually. So they were like, Batman couldn't get into land. And he said, oh, I need another distraction. So he said, oh, it pains me to do this, but I'm going to have to call in the help of Superman. So he went, come in, Superman. And Superman went, what? Who is it? Oh, Batman. What's that? Aunty Lisa, Aleksander, Kristoffer and Owen are trapped inside a giant ball inside the T-Rex enclosure, and the T-Rexes are trying to catch you. Oh, yeah, I'll come and help. Oh, God. Just quick coffee. Okay, I'll be right there. So Batman swooped into action. and he arrived at Jurassic World and started flying round in another circle. And the T-Rexes were like, whoa, 2 things up in the air to play with 1 thing on the ground. We are overwhelmed with stuff to do here. I just don't know what to do for the best. And the T-Rexes were kicking the ball around with all the people inside, and everyone inside was like, and then they were trying to catch Batman in his little flying bat plane. They couldn't catch Batman. And then Superman had a cunning and ingenious plan. Superman stole their dinner. He picked up the big giant piece of meat and went, "Nah, nah, 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 you can't catch this." And he zoomed to the other end of the enclosure. He zoomed so fast, the T-Rexes nearly didn't see where he went, but they did. And they were very cross indeed. So they chased Superman to the other end of their enclosure. Meanwhile, this gave Batman enough time in his bat plane to drop down a ladder. And he dropped the ladder down and everybody jumped super quickly out of the orb thing and climbed up the ladder into Batman's plane, which could hover, by the way, in case anyone's wondering how he did that. So, Aleksander, Aunty Lisa and Kristoffer and Owen were inside Batman's plane, and Batman went, "I'm Batman. Nice to meet you, Owen. I don't believe we've met before. Hey, Aunty Lisa, how's it going?" And Aunty Lisa said, "Well, yeah, not. Can we land, please?" And Aleksander and Kristoffer went, "Hey, we don't feel sick at all, because we're kids. We feel better now. We're better straight away. We were a bit sick inside the ball when the T-Rexes were kicking it, but now we're okay." So they all landed on the other side away from the T-Rex enclosure. And Superman, who had also obviously just dropped the giant piece of meat, he came round as well. And the T-Rexes were so busy eating the piece of meat now that he was okay. And he said, "Oh, you guys, that was incredibly stupid, climbing inside one of those orbs and going inside the T-Rex enclosure while everybody else was busy watching something else on all their screens, seeing all their sea dinosaurs doing their tricks of the day." And Aleksander, Kristoffer, Aunty Lisa and Owen said, "Yeah, you're right. We won't do that again. That was incredibly stupid. Okay, lesson learned. What should we do now? Actually, can we eat something? I feel a bit queasy. Maybe some chips?" So, you would think this is the end of the story, but it is not. No, it is not. So, they all went and had some chips to settle their stomachs. And then Superman said, "Hey, you guys, I found something pretty super cool. Do you want to come and see it?" And everyone said, "Yeah, let's go see what you've got to see, Superman." So everybody climbed inside Batman's plane, apart from Superman, who flew. And he led the way to a secret destination, which was in the middle of a giant woodland somewhere on another island away from Jurassic World. And Owen said, "Well, I've never been here. What is this magical place?" And they landed in a little green space where there was, in the middle of the woods, where there was no other trees growing. And in the middle of the green space, there was a well. Well, that seems very unusual. So they all walked over to the well and they said, "Batman, what's so special? It's just a well. Maybe there was a house here once." Batman said, "Do you know what this well does?" And everyone went, "No, Batman, we've never been here before." Batman said, "I know what this well does. And I'm going to tell you. But you have to promise to be sensible, okay?" And everyone said, "Well, we've got a really good track record of being sensible. Yes, that's fine, Batman." Batman said, "This is a real life wishing well." And everyone went, "Yeah, whatever, Batman." And he said, "Did you know what it does? It will take you to any place or time, anywhere, if you wish for it." And well, Do you know what happened next? Was that Kristoffer and Aleksander went, dinosaur times! And they zoomed back in time to dinosaur times. And they went, whoa, we could just not get enough dinosaurs today. And they looked around, and you know what they saw in dinosaur times that day? Well, they saw a ginormous, enormous, terrifying meteor coming towards the Earth. And they went, this was a terrible idea. Quick, back to normal times, please. Ding. And they all went back to normal times. And Batman said, what did I tell you about being sensible, okay? And everyone went, you're right, Batman. We're not very good at being sensible. Let's go back to Jurassic World and all eat ice cream again. Batman said, I think that's a very good idea. And so that's what they did. And maybe they'll visit that wishing well one day in the future. Or maybe not. But they all settled down at the end of that day and had ginormous ice creams with so much chocolate sauce on top that Aunty Lisa nearly felt as sick as she did when she was in that giant ball and the T-Rexes were kicking them around. But she promised she would never do that ever, ever again. And that is the end of the story. Love you. Night night.